Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at Rev Derek Terry. Also on TikTok at Rev Derek Terry. DerekTerry.com, RevDerek.com. Welcome to A Region in My Mind, a podcast. Catch up at aregioninmymind.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. Today is a difficult day. Difficult because another mass shooting and another mass shooting. And since our last conversation, it's been 2 mass shootings in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Boulder, Colorado. Atlanta in various massage parlors, in Boulder at a grocery store. I'm just so frustrated. I'm just tired of having these conversations. I think it's important to call the names of the people who were killed in Atlanta because most of them were Asian women. And unfortunately, I believe that because they were Asian, many people have, many media outlets have opted to not say their names because they're difficult to pronounce. So I've tried to learn the pronunciation and I'm going to do my very best, but I think it's important that we call them by name in memorial and honor their lives for who they were. Start with Delana Ashley Hyung, age 33. Dao Yo Fung, age 44. Paul Andre Mitchells, age 54. Hwang Jung Grant, age 51. Soon Chong Park, age 74. Soon Cha Kim, age 69. Young A Hugh, 63. And Chiaji Tan, 49. I'm just tired of having to do this over and over and over again. I remember after Columbine, I was in middle school when the Columbine shooting took place, and I was sitting in the when I was young, I used to watch Sally Jesse Raphael after school. I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I would go to a close friend of the family's, a family member. I walk to her house after school and wait for my parents to come pick me up. And I would just sit there and watch Sally Jesse Raphael and, whatever other shows until they came. And after Columbine, of course, Sally was not on that day. It was just the news of the shooting. And I remember watching, what in the world is this? How can this even happen? And I was young, and I know some people would think, you probably shouldn't have been exposed to that, but these kids shouldn't have been exposed to that. They were in school, and we have to know that these things happened. And that was the first time something like that happened. And every time I still feel that same shock of how. And it just pisses me off that we keep having to go through the same thing. So I wanted to mention the names of those individuals from Atlanta. I also take the time now to call the names of those who were killed in Boulder, Colorado. Denny Stong, 20. Naveen Stanisic, 23. Ricky Olds, 25. Trelona Bart Kowiak, 49. Suzanne Fontaine, or Suzanne Fountain, 59. Terry Leaker, 51. Officer Eric Talley, 51. Kevin Mahoney, 61. Lynn Murray, 62. Jody Waters, 65. Prayers to their families and to just all of us. I was meeting with some clergy earlier today, and we were just doing check-ins. So how are you feeling with everything? And one of my colleagues said, I'm just numb. And a lot of people felt that. It was a very, understood sentiment. But feeling numb is very dangerous. Because when you're numb to something, it means you have no feeling. When you're numb to something, you are oblivious. You can be oblivious to the fact that injury is occurring. And hearing these things, seeing these attacks towards women, seeing these attacks towards minorities, seeing these attacks in public, supposed to be safe places, schools, concerts, grocery store, massage parlors, movie theaters. Becoming numb is a very dangerous thing, and I don't want to be numb. I want to be pissed. I want to be angry, and I am angry. I'm angry that there are people who defend the right for people to own these assault weapons. I saw a graphic that listed mass shootings in Boulder, Orlando, Parkland, Las Vegas, Aurora, California, Sandy Hook Elementary School, or, Sandy Hook, the Waffle House shooting, San Bernardino, the Midland, Odessa shootings, the Poway Synagogue, the Sutherland Springs shootings, the Tree of Life Synagogue. And what do all of these have in common? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mass shootings have in common. They all AR-15s, assault rifles, were used. And these used to be banned. But proponents of the Second Amendment, which, the Constitution gives us the Second Amendment right. Of course, when the Constitution was written, guns did not have the capacity and the ability that they have now. It would take 4 or 5 minutes to shoot off one bullet. They fought for the right to have these military-grade assault rifles, and we keep seeing time and time and time again that they are used to have these mass shootings, and it's the same cycle is perpetuated. This happens, people get mad, politicians supposedly call for common sense gun laws, and nothing happens. It's over and over and over again. And, I've already seen on social media people saying people kill people, not guns. But why do we give people the ability to kill so many so fast, so easily? And so I'm just tired. I'm so sick and tired. The stats show that the majority of our country wants these guns out of the hands of regular people. The majority of the people in our country want, quote unquote, common sense, whatever that means, gun reform and background checks. And yet nothing happens. I just knew after Sandy Hook, after little kids, majority little white kids, and in Marjorie Stone Douglas, who was that in Parkland. I just knew. I really knew with Sandy Hook. High school, that was after Sandy Hook. But with Sandy Hook, with all those little kids killed, I just knew that something was going to change. And Barack Obama cried when he spoke about it. And instead of right-wing media saying, oh, wow, here's a president who cares about little kids getting killed in school, they criticized him and called him weak. And even some of my friends, I heard people say he shouldn't have done that. But, dude, little kids in school. I'm so sick and tired of having this conversation. Why do you need an assault rifle? Why does a regular person need an assault rifle? What good sense does that even make? And don't come to me with the people kill people and not guns. But if the crazy people don't have access to the assault weapons, how do they kill? I'm just tired. And so what do? We fight. We have to fight. We have to fight the rules and the laws and the lobbying and the PACs and the bullshit that enables our elected officials to continue to do nothing. They literally, I remember congressmen literally criticizing the survivors of the Marjorie Stone Douglas shooting, those high school kids. And those very same people who did nothing, who criticized when the Capitol was under attack on January 6, 2021, were escorted away, were hidden, wearing gas masks. Maybe they'll remember that. How it felt to be in a space that you thought was safe and to be under attack in such a way. So what do we do when I say we have to do something? We have to fight. We have to push back. We have to take it to the streets, take it to the ballot box, take it to not just our social media, but create art that reflects our frustration, write stories and videos. As a historian, I'm a huge proponent in, of course, firsthand or primary sources, right? These things that we create, that we produce. It's just really, really, really frustrating. So we have to do that. We have to find those organizations that are doing the work. And we need to give our time, our talent, and our resources to those organizations locally. Start right now in your city, in your town. Find the organizations that are doing the work, the anti-gun work, the common sense gun laws work. Find out where your elected officials are and ride them, get on their nerves, call them, email them, get the people together and support those who are willing to make a change. And I know sometimes it can feel really frustrating. Is this really going to make a difference? Is anything going to happen? But we have to do it. We have to do it. We have to do our part. I used to be a gun owner. I'm pretty much consider myself a nonviolent pacifist at this point in my life. But I grew up with guns. My father is a cop, so there were always guns in my house. I learned to respect guns at an early age. I never, my father wasn't one of those, hey, let's go shoot a gun type person. I shot in, Boy Scouts or whatnot. But so I wasn't, leery of guns when I was old enough. Back when I lived in Kentucky, I purchased a couple of guns. And I had them supposedly for protection. But I remember after Sandy Hook was one of those life-changing moments for me. After Sandy Hook, I got rid of them. Gun buyback program. Now, of course, those guns would probably cost me $600-700 total, but I got maybe $75 a piece at a gun buyback program. But after Sandy Hook, I did some soul searching, and I realized I couldn't kill anyone. I didn't want that type of power. And so the whole protect myself, someone breaking in my house, someone trying, I couldn't do that. And I just kept thinking about those kids. And even though I didn't have that type of gun, I kept thinking, like, the power that guns have and how quickly they can take life. And I didn't want that responsibility, nor did I want to feel that I was ever a good guy and therefore had a right to take someone else's life. I get that not everybody thinks like that. But I think sometimes people watch too many movies. There's one white guy with, one gun, and he takes on the whole, gang or cartel, and by the end of the movie, he's all bloodied and broken, or he goes to seek vengeance or to avenge his wife or daughter or mom. And it's such a sick and twisted thing. I made a post today on social media, why do old Black people like watching Westerns? If you're listening to this and you're Black, maybe white people, I don't know, and white culture as well. But like my grandmother, may she rest in peace, my grandfather to this day, he's learned how to do streaming, and that's what he watches all day long, Westerns. And, this whole idea of this, cowboy going out and killing Indians, what I call genocide. Well, and I use the phrase Indian contextually, not disrespectfully. Like I would say indigenous, but, we're talking cowboy movies from the 50s, 60s. And it's just so problematic. And I think so many people have that mentality that they are the cowboys and they're going to take their country back and they're going to save it. And if good guys have guns, and they'll kill the bad guys with the guns. And that's just not what the statistics say. That's very rare, honestly. I remember after the Charleston massacre at Emmanuel AME Church, people in my church were saying, maybe we should start, we should come to church with our guns because we're open and affirming, and, we have pride flags. And what if people don't like that and they come here to attack us? And it's completely against everything that I preach and everything that I stand for. And not only that, but I think it's unsafe for my members who are untrained in defense in that way and shooting in that way. And I literally said, you're going to end up killing me or killing somebody else. Life is, people watch TV too much, or go to the shooting range and you shoot a target with headphones on in a very controlled space that stands there still and waits to be shot. It's completely different in a real world situation. I've said all that to say, I'm for less guns, period. I think America's obsessed with guns, but I'm not going to argue the politics of the Second Amendment, but I will always argue the fact that no civilian needs an AR-15, period. And all these, we've stopped them from being able to do this to make them shoot even more. Get rid of them. Why do you need that? I'm just so tired. So, what do you think? Are you a gun owner? As a gun owner, what do you think when stuff like this happens? I'm not trying to take away people's ability to own guns. I just don't think we should be able to own some guns or all the guns. Like, I think we have to be smarter about this, and we keep proving that we are not smart about this because it keeps happening. So to the victims' families, I lift them in light and love. So sad for those individuals, for their children, for their grandchildren, for their nieces, nephews, spouses, parents, siblings, neighbors, friends, coworkers. Let us not allow this to become yet another, well, that's just how it is. Laws and rules can be changed. But it's up to us. It's up to us to do our part. If each individual does their part where they are planted, bloom where you are planted, we can bring a change in this situation. Check me out online, DerekTerry.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Rev Derek Terry. Just tired. Just really tired, really frustrated. But check me out there. You can see what's going on. I have some other stuff to talk about, but it'll be a different episode. This one needs to stay serious. Take care. God bless. A Region in My Mind, a podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, and now on YouTube as well. Peace.